Welcome to Everything About Nothing. This is your host, Tabena. We're going to talk about athletes. Athletes, we both understand when you're playing, you're playing. When you're not, you're not. That feeling of not being the top dog on campus or on your team or in your neighborhood, it's a demoralizing feeling, but you have to accept it. Now we're going to talk about the transitions of having to go into an everyday life. Just the things that you're going to experience. These are my experiences, and I hope it gives somebody ease and kind of comfort knowing that they're not alone. First, we're going to talk about this loss of identity. For so long, whether it's 10 to 15, 20 years, you've played your sport at the highest level. You've gotten to be recognized in your community, in your school, around your friend group as somebody that is of high value, quote unquote, in their circle. But it's done. When you take off them laces, when you unbuckle the boots, anything you can even think of, who are you now? And for a lot of us, we've tied our identity to our sport for so long. I want you to understand that when you're done, you're done. The biggest tip I can give somebody when making that transition is to don't be in and out. Let it go. And I'm not saying it's a morbid thing, but it's saying is giving yourself comfort to move on. There's power in letting go. Holding on to something that doesn't serve you anymore only hurts you in the long run, because now you're still identifying something and your mind doesn't know which one of the two it is. You're going to be triggered. Let it go. Second thing we're going to experience is loss of routine and structure. For a lot of our lives, you've been always told what to do, where to be for everything. Your schedule was planned out to a T. Whether it was you were a student athlete in college, you had practice in the morning, you had school, you had study hall, you had meals, you had everything. Now you're gonna have to figure out what you're gonna have to do on a day-to-day basis. That's one of the hardest things that I can tell for a lot of people, especially for me, was figuring out what to do. Where am I gonna do? Where am I gonna go? Yes, you have work, but after that, the lack of structure is what defeats a lot of people. It's not that the fact they don't know what to do, it's the fact that they don't know how to put themselves together. I'm telling you, keep that same athletic structure that you had. Wake up early, get to work, still have a routine for what you want to do, whether it's a hobby, whether it's a task, whether it's meeting with friends, whether it's working out. Keep that same structure, because it's only going to help you at the end of the day. But if you stay structureless and you find yourself idle, just you're going to get into analysis paralysis. You're going to isolate. You're only going to hurt yourself more. So keep that structure. It's super duper important. Number 3 is the physical and mental adjustment. For a lot of us, we played in front of 10 to hundreds of thousands of fans. That mental dopamine hit that we get from performing at our highest in front of a big group of people, getting cheered, getting booed, whatever you want to call it, it's such a rush that we don't get anymore. And for a lot of athletes, that's a big struggle, because we understand that when we're doing well, we're getting praise. But now you have to understand it's going to be every day. Finding different ways to get that same rush. It might not be from 100,000 cheering fans. It might just be from yourself understanding, hey, I knocked off my checklist. Hey, I stayed in shape. Hey, I was done. I was good with my eating. But you have to be okay with not knowing that you're going to be doing a lot of mundane things. And it's the physical aspect as well, right? Everybody wants to be around you. You have a lot of friends. You have a lot of people that understand, that want to be in your circle. You're a regular person. You're a regular person. And it's not a bad thing, but the regular person life is something that we have to understand as athletes, that we're the NARPs now, where we get to have that experience of getting to know new things about ourselves. We get to experience new hobbies, new passions that we might have not known because our schedule has been so busy before. But getting to that point of understanding you're a regular person, it gives you kind of a sense of peace. Number 4 is going to be the purpose and motivation. Purpose is what gets us out of bed every day. And for a lot of us, that was being able to go and hit somebody on the field, hit a 3, hit a home run. That's what we tied our purpose to. But I'm telling you, we are so much more inside of us, that our purpose is not our sport. The motivation to get up every day and find that new passion, whether it's to create something, whether it's to build something that's not just for you. Because I always say this, your gift is not your own. That gift that you had to hit threes and do it wasn't for yourself, it was for entertainment for others. That's what we love this so much. So now finding out what that purpose is, whether it's maybe in your community and giving back, whether it's socially being a helping hand for somebody else, or whether you're creatively and creating or producing things that could help the free world, the free market, and then help yourself at the end of the day. But truly figuring out, getting to that point of writing the pros and cons, things that I like, things that I don't like, things that I'm good at, things I would like to learn, and really getting a Venn diagram that will help you find what that purpose is and essentially get to that point for you. And last but not least, we're going to talk about mental health. We understand there's going to be a drop off in your mental health. For so long, it was you're an athlete, you're praised, you're glorified for being what you could do physically. So when you get to a point where you can't do it anymore, waking up kind of feels emotionless. It feels worthless. You start feeling worthless. You start thinking that I'm worthless. That leads to anxiety of, I don't know what's next. That starts leading to a low self-esteem, isolating yourself. But I'm telling you, first and foremost, do not be afraid to ask for help. Don't be afraid to go to somebody when you're struggling. Don't be afraid to say, I am struggling, because I know as athletes, we've always been gladiators. We've always had to put on this shield, this tough armor, but it's okay to let it down. It's okay to be vulnerable to an extent. Allow yourself to be human. If you're an athlete and you've experienced any of these, please drop some comments below. What are some things that you've experienced? What are some tips that you would give somebody else who was experiencing these things? And let me know.